Local legends.
All right, mate, we kick off with the SNFL, the SAV Victoria. Jackson Callow obviously on the line, and welcome, Jacko.
Fresh from the Victoria South Australian state game, and of course we'll also talk about round one, the more important game. So, Jacko, well done on the weekend, mate, and give us your overview of the weekend and the whole state experience, mate.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me, boys. It was obviously a great week, and it was an honour to be representing the state in the game against Victoria on the weekend. There's a lot of good players in there, and I feel like I was probably the young pup in the team actually this week, which was quite funny. But no, I really enjoyed it. Being working with Twig and Revo and Serge and all the other coaches around the state, it was an eye-opening experience, and it was really cool experience to create relationships with them and also learn off other coaches as well and see what the other boys are like, who we play against during the season. But for a week we got to team up together and become mates and build relationships and come out game day and try and work together, which we did pretty well, and we got the job done.
Mate, thanks for joining us once again. Being as part of the South Australian team, how much time have you guys spent together? Because it sounded like on the telecast that the Victorians hadn't had too much time together, but I think you South Australian guys had been together for a little while at least.
Well, no, wasn't too much different. We came together for the first time on the Tuesday night before the game and had a main session together and a meeting, and then we also trained on Thursday night when we found out the actual team that was going to be playing. So that was it. We only caught up with each other twice before the game, where Victoria, I think, may have trained on the Thursday night and all travelled together, but they weren't just Victorians. They also had
Boyd Woodcock from Southport. Yeah. What did so go through the experience in general? Where do you think playing in the state footy can help your own footy going forward, mate?
I felt like the first thing I noticed when we were training on the Tuesday night is when you're training with a good group of players. You've got 23 boys, 25 boys out there who are the best in the league. Training with better boys makes you a better player. The higher the skills, the higher you perform. I feel like just being out there with the likes McBean and Hosey being up forward and Reynolds, it was a cool experience for myself as a younger key forward in the comp, and being around them, I was able to learn off a few experiences that they've been around for a long time, and even though we're competition when it comes to the normal league during the normal weeks, just on game day for a week, just to be able to help each other, and for me basically to learn off them was something I was really appreciative of.
We sort of have to ask, what did Twig say at quarter time? Because Victoria sort of jumped you guys a little bit. Was it a case of head down, bum up, and do the hard yards?
Well, it was funny. I don't think any of us were really too worried. Our backs were massive for us in the first quarter, but Twig come out and I think he did say we couldn't have done much worse. So there's only up from there, and I think we went out there in the second quarter and speaking to Twig and the other coaches at the break, we realised where we were lacking at the start and what they had come out and done to start the game. So we just made a couple of little changes and just went out there and played our way. And next minute, we're back within 2 points at the halftime break, and we went on to win by, I think, 2 or 3 goals. So,
yeah, hopefully Hurdy might have picked up a few things for this week with watching those three, mate.
Yep.
So just a huge buzz though to wear the big red Guernsey. I'm sure your dad and your family down there would have, and that sort of thing. It was a pretty reasonable crowd down at Glenelg too, mate.
Yeah, there was actually. It was cool that we got such a good turnout to start with, and also to bring back a bit of the state of origin against Victoria. I think playing in both the comps, I think the VFL and the SANFL, the two best comps outside the AFL, and probably the reason me being back in South Australia is because of SANFL. I think is the best comp, so It was good to show to the Victorians that we mean business over here. But to put on the big red was also a very very honourable experience for myself. I mean, I'm a Tasmanian, and I'll always be a Tassie boy, and I got to grow up wearing the map and also always wanting to play for it. And, just to be able to share the experience over here and learn a few different ways that the South Australia guys go about their footy was an eye-opening experience for me and something I'll never forget.
And let's go back to round 1 too in terms of Sanford-wise. Great night, mate, out at the home of football against Sturt that night, mate.
We talked about that one, obviously, a couple of weeks ago, and you were hopeful that everything was going to gel, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, exactly right. I think the best thing out of that was just we went in there with no expectations. We just didn't go in there and play our way. And I think we just did everything right. We had a lot of small wins, and I think everyone just played their role. I think, besides Boydie, we didn't really have many boys that stood up and had a huge game. It was just everyone played their role and did their part, which is exactly what we were asked for by the coaches. And we got the job done, and it was a great way to start the year. And it was awesome to see so many Norwood fans there as well. And
hopefully this is a bit of buzz after gather round and hopefully there's a really big crowd this Friday night as well.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, there's no reason why there shouldn't be. We're coming up against the reigning premiers. We've come off a good win, and it's going to be the only game, I think, on Friday night at the parade. So, I don't see why people wouldn't get there and continue their support for us.
You obviously played in the state game, but, you've been back at training at Norwood this week. And is it a case of everyone's a little bit fresh after a big pre-season? Round 1 is obviously big for everybody, and then the week off for most players. Have they come back refreshed and ready and rearing to go?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like we're going into round 1 again in a way. All the boys are ready to go, and I feel like just knowing that we've got the first one out of the way and done with, we can just play with a bit more freedom again. I think the first quarter it was a very contested ball game, and I don't think we're up at quarter time. I can't quite remember, to be honest, but as the game got going after half time, and we sort of played our way and got going, we took off. So I feel like having the first one to the belt kicked and thrown away, now we can move on and just focus on this week's game. And boys are all pretty fresh, didn't take any injuries out of the game. So, and us boys that play on the weekend too, like we had a big game, but we've all recovered well. We all trained main session fully last night with the team, and now we're all ready to go.
I think personally too, Jacko, yourself, injury-riddled year last year, frustration, came back once and the ankle wasn't right and then had to do it, another time off. Probably another game now at the start of the year just to get conditioning into your body, and that overall probably is a good thing.
Yeah, exactly right. Now, I think I've played, four games now this year already, and we're only coming into round 2 this week. So I feel like I'm as fit as I've ever been over the pre-season. I got myself in good shape, and even with my 2K, I got down to my PB time I've ever had. So I'm feeling good, feeling fit, feeling strong, and I can't wait to see what the season unholds. Hopefully I can have an injury-free season and play every game.
Reserves had a pretty good win as well. So competition for spots, or is it unchanged? Go with the winning formula from round 1.
Oh, it's always hard to change a winning team.
It is, isn't it?
I think that's the strength that we're going to have this year at Norwood is, and like Glenelg showed last year, they had a big depth in their team, and they went on to win the flag in both the league and the reserves. And this year, look at our team, and our whole list really is a lot of boys playing reserves footy at the moment who definitely could be playing senior footy. So I don't know, what's going to happen and what's going to happen going forward, but I think everyone who's playing reserves even isn't getting their head down. They're still, they know that they can play, and we're all one big team. So it's all going to work out during the year. But just to see we, both got a win on the weekend, or last Friday or Thursday night, that's the best way to start the season.
Certainly a better start than last year. Put it that way, mate.
Yeah, definitely a lot better.
Hey, Jacko.
Thanks for,
greatly
joining
appreciated.
us today, and talking about the state game, but obviously a bit of fun there with Nord at the end.
And I'm sure we'll annoy you again, and look forward to catching up Friday night. Jacko, you'll certainly hear me from the scoreboard. All the best, mate.
No, appreciate it, boys. Thanks for having me, and hopefully we get the win on Friday night. We'll see you there.
See you, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks. Bye.
And we thank Jacko there for his time. And
thanks, Jacko.
And obviously talking about the state game, but obviously round 1 we did cover a little bit last week, but on to round 2, mate. Nord v Glenelg at the parade on Friday night. Looking forward to this one.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Look, I will go for Glenelg. Obviously, I hope I'm wrong.
Well, we both went for the opposition last week, and it got us over the line. So maybe I should go for Glenelg as well this week as well. Hoping a big crowd at the parade as well. obviously the reigning premiers, Norwood getting off to a good start last week.